What's up guys, Random Razor here with another tech video for you guys today. Today we're going to check out SPECK's entire lineup of iPhone cases for the all-new iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max. So of course, without further ado, let's slice this open, slap it on the iPhone, and give you guys a quick look. So it wouldn't be another year without reviewing some SPECK cases, a very reliable and popular brand that has been around for many years. So once again for the iPhone, SPECK has reintroduced their premium Presidio line for the iPhone 11 Pro and Max. First off, we're going to start off with one of my favorites, and that is the Presidio Grip. All these SPECK cases will come in their frustration-free packaging, just slide it out, and the first thing and only thing that we get is the case itself. So here is the Presidio Grip. You can see here, just like last year's model, it's a fused hybrid style case, outer polycarbonate shell, a fused inner rubber liner, which SPECK dubs as their Impactium material. One thing I like about most of the SPECK Presidio cases is that in comparison to the OtterBox Signature case, which I would say is comparable competitor model, is that OtterBox, when they slim down their cases, they remove the rubber backing, so they just left the rubber sides and the back just hard plastic. Whereas the SPECK one here, you still have that rubber liner on the back, which is something I like, as it cushions the back of the iPhone and keeps it free from dust and debris from getting it in between your case and your phone. So that's the case with most of these Presidio cases, I believe. We'll install our iPhone 11 Pro Max. As you go button side first, and it should just pop into place. So first thing I want to mention is that the Presidio cases are once again compatible with my edge-to-edge tempered glass screen protector. You can see here excellent amount of top protection with the Impactium rubber material wrapping around the entire border of the phone. A very nice slim profile, so it's a case that won't add too much bulk to your phone either. And for those of you wondering, it's a fairly easy case to take on and off as well. The button covers are very responsive, not a whole lot of pressure to press, and you still get a nice clicky feeling when you press on them. And my most favorite feature of the Presidio Grip is quite obvious, the added grips around the sides and the back. It may not look like a whole lot, but it adds a considerable amount of grip when you're holding the phone. That being said, if you're not a fan of these grips or don't care for it, you can get the original Presidio case, which is basically this case without the added grips. Now we'll just make sure that wireless charging isn't impeded on the case, which you can see here it works. And overall, a great choice for those of you looking for a slim, protective, and grippy case. The next case that we're going to check out here is the SPECK Presidio Sport case. So the Presidio Sport case is quite obvious, meant for those of you active users out there, or if you just want a little bit more protection than the original Presidio case. According to SPECK, this features 3 layers of protection versus the original Presidio case, which features 2 layers. And because of that, it's a little bit thicker than the original Presidio case, although not by much. So installing this case on the iPhone should be just as easy as the original one. Again, button side first, and it even pops into place easier than the original Presidio case. So once again, this is compatible with my edge-to-edge tempered glass screen protector, so you shouldn't have any compatibility issues with your glass screen protectors. There's also covers for the power button, volume rockers. They still get a nice clicky feeling when you press on them. A couple unique features about the Presidio Sport. The first one, it features microban, which is an antibacterial product protection, so some sort of coating or material that's fused into the case to impede bacterial growth, which is great for those of you active users. The other unique feature about this case is that it has covers not only for the lightning port, which you can see here, but also for the vibrate and ringer switch. So this case does a really excellent job at not only protecting your phone from drops, but also sealing your phone from dust and debris from getting in between your case and your iPhone, which could potentially scratch it too. The Sport case also has this rubberized backing to it. Not sure if it's part of the microban material, but it is all matte finish, which is nice because it helps resist scratches and fingerprints a little bit better, but also has a slightly rubber feel to it, so it does help you, give you a little bit of extra grip when you're holding the case. Not a whole lot, but better than a glossy case. Not much else to say about the Presidio Sport, but a great choice for those of you active users out there, or if you just want a little bit more protection than the original Presidio case. And that is the SPECK Presidio Sport case. Moving on, the third case that we have here is the SPECK Presidio Pro case. All these cases do come in a variety of different colors, so if you're not a fan of, for example, gray here, there's always some other colors like red or black. So take a closer look at the Presidio Pro case here. I believe this is basically the original Presidio case, except this one is lined with the microban material, just like the Presidio Sport case. So the nice thing about that is that it does help give you a good amount of grip versus the original plastic matte finish. So once again, we'll slap my iPhone 11 Max Pro, into this case, pops in fairly easily, and you're all set to go. This would be a good alternative to the SPECK Presidio Grip case, so if you're not a fan of the look of the grip case, this one here I do like a little bit more just because it's a nice clean solid colored finish rather than the whole bunch of lines that's on the grip case. And although it's not as grippy as the grip case, because it has a rubberized finish to it, it does have or provide a good amount of grip for your hand. Aside from the rubberized antibacterial coating that's on the back, everything else is pretty much the same. Button covers, protection around the bezeled border, and all your cutouts and camera lenses are all exposed. And that is a quick look at the SPECK Presidio Pro case. Moving on, we have the SPECK Presidio Folio case. I think this case is new for this year, as I don't recall reviewing a Folio case from last year, but here it is. It is basically the SPECK Presidio case, which you can see is still full-size protective case with the added folio flap. I think the main difference between this case and the original Presidio case is that the back here is in line with the rubber material, which is something I would have preferred. I think they did that just to slim down the case a little bit. That being said, I would prefer the rubber over the hard plastic. Anyways, let's slap our iPhone in. You should go button side first again. Pops easily into place, and you're all set to go. So here is the Presidio Folio case. Pretty clean, professional, business-oriented looking folio case. Definitely can't go wrong with this one here as an alternative to Apple's leather folio case for less than half the cost. You can see this coated canvas material that wraps around the entire front and the back here. There's an indentation to let you know that you can still access the volume rockers with the flap on. And going to the inside of the case, the entire back part here is lined with a soft microfiber style material. And unlike the other folio cases I reviewed so far, this one here you can actually put up in a movie mode. That being said, it seems to like to slide down quite a bit. It's more or less functional, but at least it's an option there if you need it. There's also a tiny wallet portion, so let's see if we can fit 2 cards in the back. Alright, so we can get away with 2. Let's see if we can go with number 3. And yeah, well, it fits 3 cards. And looks like number 4 is kind of pushing it, so 3 cards for sure. Overall, another good alternative to Apple's own leather folio case with the SPECK Presidio Folio. And that is the SPECK Presidio Folio case. Alright, second last case that we're going to check out here, and that is the SPECK Presidio Ink case. So the Ink case is a great choice for those of you who want something with a graphical design or some sort of abstract back that kind of sets off your iPhone. Once again, this is basically the original Presidio case. The entire back as well as the sides are lined with SPECK's Impactium rubber material. The main difference, of course, is quite obvious. You have this very nice floral graphical back, but of course, if you don't like this particular style, there's a few other different options to choose from as well. One thing I noticed for this year is that the ink cases now feature a matte finish over the laminated glossy finish that they had during the past ink cases. So that's definitely a little bit different. I kind of like it just because the matte finish makes, at least in this particular model, the flowers kind of pop out a little bit, kind of give it a 3D effect. The upside with a matte finish, like I always mention, is that matte finishes do resist scratches a lot better than a glossy finish. So we'll just grab my iPhone 11 Pro Max once again and pop it in. And that is basically what it looks like. The graphical printout that SPECK used here is very high quality. High resolution image, the colors are vivid and pop out. The actual printout also feels fairly thick, so you shouldn't have to worry about this fading or wearing out. So for those of you who like the Presidio case but you want something a little bit more flashy with a nice graphical printout on the back, you definitely can't go wrong with the SPECK Presidio Ink case. The last case that we have here is the SPECK Presidio Stay Clear case. So another option for a clear case for the iPhone. This also features microband built in, so it's kind of nice that it has an antibacterial coating of some kind that's built into the case. So this is essentially the Presidio case in a clear edition. You still get a clear polycarbonate back shell as well as this clear style Impactium material. Kind of hard to tell in the video, but there's also this textured back, which I believe is designed like that to help prevent any watermarking when you place your phone inside. So one thing I noticed with this year's model is that it's so much easier to put your phone in and take it out. Last year's model, the rubber that SPECK used was really sticky, so you had a really tough time pushing your phone in and taking it out. This year, however, it looks like SPECK redid the formula for their clear TPU or rubber impacting material, as it's a lot smoother, it's not sticky, and it's still fairly transparent. So far, this has been the best clear case I reviewed that has been the most easy to take your phone in and out of. So moving on, you get all the aspects of the original Presidio case, button covers, the hybrid style case, of course, access to all your ports. The main feature with the Presidio Clear is that it shows out the color, the Apple logo, and pretty much everything that's on the back of your iPhone. The only thing I don't like about the Presidio Clear case is that SPECK always has this, it's like a dotted textured back, which again is there to help resist any watermarking, which is a notorious thing with the crystal clear cases. It doesn't seem to be that big of an issue this year just because the back of the iPhones are a matte finish, which blends in with that dotted textured back of the case. That being said, it is something I want to make you guys aware of. Overall, another good choice for those of you looking for a clear case for your iPhone and also want one that's easy to take on and off. And that is a look at the SPECK Presidio Clear case. So what do you guys think of SPECK's lineup for this year? Do you guys have a favorite model or another case that you recommend? Let me know in the comment section there down below. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Any questions or comments, once again, ask away in the comment section there down below. Hit that like button, as always helps me out, and I'll see you all in the next video.